diys-by-dar. Let's upcycle ugly hat boxes and give them a Alice in Wonderland theme. So I have some beautiful paper here, and this is some from Made by Marley, and I am a Made by Marley brand ambassador. So some papers that I use are provided to me, but I did purchase these particular papers. Now, their papers come 3 sheets in a pack, and they are 16 inches by 13 inches. This particular pattern is called Wonderland Toil, and it has the same pattern on all 3 pages. You can find Made by Marley magic papers through stockists in the US, but they don't carry all of the designs. So go to their website out of Scotland at www.madebymarley.co.uk. For this project, I started with the lid because I have never repapered a hat box before, so this is a first for me. So I carefully drew with a fine point pencil where I needed this to be cut. I needed it to be really accurate, and it needs to go on really accurate. Now, I didn't want to put a primer on top of this, so I used a 600 grit and just kind of deglossed this glossy hat box. I'm putting on my Mod Podge in matte, and I'm getting a nice layer there. I'm starting on the long side because this is oval shaped, and trying to match it up just right on that edge and smoothing it down. If you get off a little bit, it's okay, because we're going to take and smooth this down all along the outside edge. Now I have just a straight edge with some wax paper on it, and I'm just getting the air out and any glue out. Take your end and put them down, and I'm just using some wax paper because it's pretty wet and I don't want my fingers to stick. So I'm going to leave it for tonight, and tomorrow when I come back, I have some strips that I measured particularly for this. They need to start right at the top and the bottom where it's going to curl around the edge and go inside the lid. So you want to pay a little attention to which way you're putting them on to help that pattern flow, keep with the design. I'm getting my paste on here ready to go. I'm carefully lining that up so it's starting right at the bottom portion and top edge of that paper, and smoothing it down with my straight edge. And there we have it. And you can see I have that end up a little bit on that side, but we're going to work on how you deal with that. Now here is the bottom portion. I have one strip on. It's looking pretty good. You can see that excess paper at the top, and at the bottom I already cut it and curled it. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. Let's get another larger piece on. And you can see there's that little lip right there. I'm going to try and get this piece lined up first with the seam coming across with my design somewhat similar, some trees, the same color tone. I didn't do well there, so we'll have to paint that in. And do you see that pencil line I have on the back of that decoupage paper? This is where I want the top of that paper to hit the top of that box the best that I can. So I'm going slow, getting my paste and my air bubbles out and working my way to the edge, occasionally checking my alignment to make sure that I'm staying on the straight and narrow to have this come out. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but as close as I can get it. So we're smoothing that down, and there's that paper edge. You can see it. So how you do that is you snip it. Now I think I've switched now, and I'm going on to the bottom of this box and put more paste on it, and you're just gonna flip them little tabs down. And if they're too sticky, get your wax paper. When that was dry, I went ahead and applied my paste again, and taking my time. This is the bottom of the box, but it still needs to go on there perfect, because if it is not in alignment, you're going to have a little piece that is going to be sticking out. If that happens, just flip it over, take the sharpest X-Acto knife that you have and remove it. If you need to fill in, just take some acrylic paint and fill in some color if there's some missed spots. But I'm getting the bottom on, I'm getting it all smooth, and it came out pretty good. I am going to smooth the edge down, and I am going to add lots of paste to this edge. And I will put more paste on it, but I want this to be able to handle some wear and tear, and Mod Podge is pretty tough. So there we have them. They are complete. I'm ready to get into the next step. If I can get the lid off, I'm taking the Mod Podge and I am covering every entire portion that has decoupage paper on it. And I did not do the inside. I don't think I would have had enough paper. Now, you see that yellow strip? That's tape. And that was for my alignment. I have a black ribbon with my Titebond, and I'm applying the glue, and I am going to stick that on the bottom portion where those paper tabs look a little bit messy. This really helps. So I'm going to go ahead and get that completed. And there you can see that tape a little bit better. I just taped around with some painter's tape, and you can get different sizes. And of course, this is kind of like a pinstriping size, making sure I get that glue on there and kind of spread it out. Don't pull on that ribbon. Just set it there, and then press it into place, and just make sure all that glue has touched. And that really looks nice. So I'm going to get the next one done. Then I am going to apply some clear Annie Sloan wax just to the outside upper area where the lid comes down. Now be careful here. You can see I have my fingers in there. The insides of these are pristine. Okay, lid off. All right, lid on. Looking pretty good. Let's see. Oh, lid off. It's feeling all right. Lid back on. So that worked really nice. Here we are once again. Now what? Well, I need to take and pack these. This is a gift. I have some Disney cups and saucers, of course, Wonderland themed. And the box is not going to fit. How am I going to get these items in there? And there's my Alice cup. They're really cool. The plates are awesome. So I need to pack this. And I have packed pottery for probably 30 years of my life and shipped it. And I've not had a broken piece. So I hope this is not my first. Trying to figure out which way to get the cups and the saucers, and I have a bag of some organic ginger tea. So I wrapped these cups, and I actually used some bubble wrap in the bottom to help support around the outside, and I used the foam insert that was in the box for in between the cups. And packing the tea in, it wasn't making it, so we got to make a little adjustment here. We're going to shake all the tea bags to the bottom and then just curl them corners in, and it's pretty tight. Now, that's what you want. When you're packing something that's really fragile, you want it to be tight. And I will usually pick up my packages and I shake them. And if I don't hear anything moving, then I know that I'm good to go. So I'm going to get the lid on this, and I'm going to have to probably tie it down because it's a little bit higher. Now here is the teapot, and I just love this teapot. I tried to paint Drink Me on it, but the glass paints that I used, they didn't stay on. So if anybody knows of some really great glass paints, let me know the brand. Bubble wrap on the bottom again. I'm going to put a piece of pretty paper on the very, very bottom. And this teapot, take your lids and turn them upside down and put them inside your vessel and tape them with some packaging tape. Try it. Make sure it doesn't really move. You want it to stay in place. And that's one thing that definitely helps. Now, I'm pretty close on both sides of this box with the spout and the handle. So I am going to try and cut pieces from the original packing and put that around the spout and the handle. And it actually worked out very nicely. I'm going to tape that into place, and it fits really nicely. So this is a win. So once I get that taped, the only thing I have to make sure of is this is pulled up enough where that spout is down inside there. And the handle should not matter too much, just on the portion where it's sticking out the most. And that's going to give me some protection and pull it away from the sides. Hopefully this will work. And I cut some more pieces out just to put some additional packaging around that teapot so it would not move. And I'm in for the final pack here. And I want it to look a little pretty when you open it, not a bunch of foam. And I'm going to get them foam pieces back in there. And if there's areas where I need a little more packing that I feel are empty or loose, I will put that in there and put the top on, and it will get my final shake test. And if I don't hear anything moving in there or feel anything moving in there, I know I'm good. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to put these all together. If you guys have any ideas out there, let me know. I'm taking this to a concert. Now, I have this Masterpiece Limited Edition book by Lewis Carroll with original pictures. It's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. It has some gold embossing, and the pages are gold embossed. Now, I finally did get something to stay on there, but I don't think this is going to be the final thing. And I am going to have to go to Hobby Lobby. If anybody has any ideas on how I can stack these up and carefully take them to a musical concert where it is a gift for someone, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a few weeks before I'm going. This was a super fun project, and this was what I started with, and they are so much better like this. Can you find all the little Wonderland artifacts in my picture? I am going to start a child's piano that I am redoing, and I am going to take the Wonderland design to that as well. That's my next project. The one I have coming up is 2 chairs, and they are just wild. That will be Memorial Day weekend. Like, subscribe. I want to thank you so much for watching, And click the little bell if you're subscribed. It'll let you know when I have something new up.